What's up everyone, I'm Irish Ronin, welcome to the channel. This week I played over 300 entries from the 1-Bit Game Jam and have found the 10 best games for you to try out. What am I looking for in a game? 3 things. Number 1, fun. If a game ain't fun, what's the point? 2, creativity. I want to see something new. 3, polish. Time is tight, the game should be too. The theme of this jam was Where Am I? The limitation of the jam was to use only 2 colors. Unsurprisingly, lots of people chose black and white. Alright, let's dive in. Coming in at number 10, we have a Bit of Noir by Pectoralix. In this game, you're trying to solve a crime before time runs out. You're therefore incentivized to find clues as fast as possible.
I want to go fast!
However, you can't just barrel through the levels because your field of view is limited except for brief moments when the entire screen is lit by lightning. This mechanic reminded me most of certain levels in Shovel Knight and is done very well here. Beyond the visuals, the gameplay is tight, the sound is awesome. The music choice and storm effects combine nicely with the sepia palette to create that classic film noir vibe.
She was all dame, legs that went all the way to the bottom of her torso.
Speaking of, begrudging bonus points for the dad joke that's baked into the title. See, it was the 1-Bit Jam, and the title is A Bit of Noir. Anyway, it's a fun experience. Go give it a try. Number 9 on the list is Light and Darkness by Vampire Dev. This game is a 2D fighter a la Mortal Kombat. What I like about this game is that it has taken a fighter down to its absolute bare essentials. 1 attack, 1 block, that's about it. Plus, no massive sequences of inputs to be memorized. You press the punch button and, the character punches.
I know Kung Fu.
Additionally, I am blown away by the art in this game. Despite such a low resolution, there is a real sense of depth to the visuals, which is to say nothing about the great sprite work and animations. Hopefully, the dev keeps working on this one. Simple as it is, I'd like to see this caterpillar become a butterfly. Go check it out. Number 8 from the jam is Darkest Dive by Saint Uwu. Right off the bat, this game makes no sense at all. It starts with you diving headfirst into a well. Why?
The greatest questions I've ever been asked.
As you fall down the well, there are randomly installed boards that you're going to want to avoid, so that you don't die before you die at the bottom of the well.
Right.
But all that aside, it's a great game. The gameplay is extremely simple, arrows to dodge obstacles. But what makes it great is that the combination of the suspenseful music and sound effects combined with a faulty lantern that keeps turning off and on so you lose sight of the obstacles and must remember their locations creates a real tense atmosphere. More than once, I got genuinely startled by a board that I just didn't see coming. The point being, the cool art and general ambiance takes a simple game and elevates it to the next level. You should absolutely play this one. Lucky number 7 is a game called In Dark is Light by Fiore Buddha. Many of the games in this jam involved flashlights or other light sources because light and dark were very convenient themes for the 2-color limitation and the Where Am I theme from the jam. In this instance, your flashlight makes things heavy. This causes enemies, incoming projectiles, and even some platforms to fall. Additionally, you can move some of those platforms by running into them. Taken together, these mechanics make for some interesting possibilities for puzzle platforming. The pixel art is also very clean and makes tasteful use of both particles and lighting, neatly walking that line between a retro feel and modern effects. Truly, it's just a solid game all around, and could serve as a solid foundation if the dev wants to expand the game in the future. Give it a try. Next up at number 6 is Dark Mode by Original Stone 8. This game is fantastic, plain and simple. It highlights the difference between, say, a mediocre steak and the perfect cheeseburger. It doesn't have tons of bells and whistles or in-your-face juiciness. What it does have is polish taken to the absolute max. You're defending yourself by shooting incoming enemies with your mouse. As you kill them, your dark meter fills, and upon being filled, you enter dark mode, where everything speeds up. I could list all the components that I like, but what's more important is that every single part of this game works in harmony, from the understated audio to the intermittent speed changes to the indicator bars and all the rest. It's perfectly calibrated to work together. There's just zero fat anywhere on this game. I love it, and I think you will too. Numero 5 is Blip and Blop by Apsil. Here we have yet another absolute gem of a game. You play as two adorable robots. One can only survive in the light, and the other only in the shadows.
Go back to the shadow.
A common theme from this jam was games where you control two characters, sometimes simultaneously, other times by switching back and forth. This one is, for my money, the best executed two-character game I played from the jam. Each level has at least one light source that must be strategically blocked or moved, or both, to allow both of the characters to reach their final destinations. The art, including the lights and shadows, are pixel perfect, and more than that, are minimalist in the best way.
The less you do, the more you do.
It's as if the artists challenged themselves to use as few pixels as possible while still ensuring clarity. This is a game I would not hesitate to pick up off Steam for a few bucks. Go check it out. Just off the podium at number 4, we have Excerpt by Elaine. This is certainly one of the most unique games of the jam. It's visually gorgeous. Comprised entirely of overlapping geometric solids, you are constantly bombarded with mesmerizing patterns. The goal is to keep your ship safe by staying on the appropriate color. You can also switch colors as needed. Speaking of which, the dev found a nice little workaround the two-color limitation by only having two colors at a time.
It's very clever. Thank you.
On top of all of that, the music choice was great. Up-tempo but lighthearted, and reminded me of the score of like Wii Sports or something like that. You can also skip waves that are too hard or play straight through for better scores. A new record! The dev's priority was clearly for the player to have fun, and I certainly did. I think you will too. In third place is Starcatcher by Muffin Tree Games. I love this game. It's a puzzle platformer where you switch between controlling the player and two large circles in order to collect stars. I really enjoy mechanics like this that are very simple, yet can be used in myriad ways. The circles can be used to push, drop, carry, lift, and more. This opens the door for some unique puzzle structures and multiple ways to solve many of the puzzles. I also like the chippy little gameplay noises that go great with the low-key music. There's also a fun little minigame built in where as you collect the stars through the levels, you then use them to recreate constellations in the night skies, which serves the dual purpose of giving a reason for collecting stars, unlike some games, and breaks up the action a little bit. Unique gameplay, strong polish, give it a go. Second place and the silver medal go to The Dark Cheese by Duck Cherry Studios. This is yet another black and white puzzle platformer, but of all such games from the jam, this one is my favorite.
He's the best. I love it.
You play as a mouse who, when black, can bounce off enemies and collect cheese, and when white, can pass through the light. The design of this game is outstanding. The slightly echoey music combined with the dangling spiders and light shafts from above to create a real sense of the subterranean without explicitly saying so. The progression of levels does an excellent job of teaching the player how various components interact, and the puzzles are challenging without inducing rage. Not to mention, the dev built a ton of levels in the allotted time. I could go on and on about this game, but instead, why don't you just go play for yourself? No top 10 list would be complete without at least one honorable mention. In this case, it's Light in the Night by Big Bouncy Banana. This game is a cool sort of arcade-style survival challenge. Your only goal is to keep the board 50% lit at all times, as squares are perpetually darkened by lasers, rockets, and bombs.
Oh my.
This one made the list because it's an interesting mechanic that had kind of a zen-like quality. It's kind of like an infinite runner in that way, where it could just keep going forever and you can find yourself almost zoned out maintaining these lights. Nothing crazy flashy here, just a unique game that I've never seen before. I hope the dev keeps working on it because it has potential. Go check it out. And the big winner, gold medal number 1, is Monospin by Ascended Produce. This game is awesome. It's like Sonic had a baby with a men's room sign. You're a stick figure that spins like a top, gaining speed from bouncing off of walls and launching off ramps. The play is fast, the controls are tight, and the game is just plain fun. The graphics are high-res pixel art and are nice, but where the visuals really shine are in the animation. The blurring trails, the smear cells, makes the game feel fast. Not to mention, the dev built 6 distinctly themed levels, like a space level with lowered gravity, a factory with smashers, and so on, each also with its own setting-specific soundtrack. I've played a lot of games that aim at a flow state like Sonic, but very few have come as close as this one.
Wow.
The game is an absolute blast, and you should 100% go check it out. And that's the top 10 from the 1-Bit Game Jam. If you entered the jam, but your game didn't make the list, don't feel bad. It just means that your game was not up to my unassailable standards.
I am a god, you dull creature!
No, but really, I probably just didn't get to it. Or else it was a visual novel about a high school romance. Anyway, if you guys think I missed one, please let me know, and I will absolutely give it a try. Thanks for sticking with me to the end here. As a reward, I'm not even going to ask you to hit like and subscribe. As a matter of fact, I'm not even going to bring up liking or subscribing. Until next time, this is Irish Ronin reminding you, do, fail, learn, repeat. See ya.